guys, back with another video. So today I want to talk about expectations from others, right? So throughout our lives, people have always expected things from us, and we have always expected things from others, right? Whether that's you're expected by your parents to get a decent job so you can make a decent salary. You expect others, like your friends, to show up at certain events that you made, or you expect them to show you or give you a praise for something that you did or something that you accomplished, right? So our lives are filled with expectations, even from our job too, right? In our careers, we're expected to work hard, we are expected to work productively, we are expected to come to work at a certain time and leave at a certain time, right? So the world is filled with expectations, right? But the thing is, it's with expectations also comes the reality that not everyone can satisfy people's expectations, right? It's not always like that, because no one is perfect, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, you may have a friend who you talk to, right? Like through the phone or even in person, and because he or she is a very good friend of yours, that friend expects that you are to be a good listener, that he or she expects that you call them that you pick up their call and listen to them, right? But a lot of times, with all these expectations come pressure, right? We get this internal pressure that, we have to consort to everyone's expectations of us, or stuff like that, or else we'll look bad. I think that's false. I think that's very falsified, right? Like, we have this fear that if we don't satisfy everyone's expectations, we become this bad person, or we create this bad reputation of ourselves. And the thing is, that's all in our head, right? That's all in our head. We have this belief that if we don't, for example, with our parents or our loved ones are telling us to follow a certain career path, and you don't follow that career path, right? Or you have this fear that if you don't follow it, you're gonna look bad. I think that's absolutely false. Yeah, your parents may feel frustrated or whatever, or disappointed or whatever, but they'll get over it, right? So the point is that these expectations from everyone around you are not realistically, you're not able to sustain them. So that's why you need to kind of prioritize what things you should be focusing on and what things you shouldn't be focusing on, right? And that is the reality. The reality is that, expectations lead to disappointments. If you are expecting someone to do something for you, right? Like, say for example, you gave someone a gift, right? Like a present. In your head, you may be expecting something to get reciprocated. You expect that to be returned to you, right? Like a gift. But that is not a very good mentality to have, because a lot of the times you just end up being disappointed, right? And that is the danger behind expectations. That is the danger. The danger is you just become disappointed. And in order to avoid that, you should try not to have expectations of others. You shouldn't try to do that. You should just do what you're supposed to do at work. Just do it, not out of the feeling of, I want to satisfy the other person, or I want to satisfy my manager. Like, look, I did this job. Yeah, look, I'm working so hard. You're doing it for you do it for yourself. right? And when you take the expectations of others in the back burner, you know, everything just starts becoming easier or better in that sense, right? When you take away the expectation that, oh, like, I did this for someone, now they need to do something for me. Once you take that out of the picture, right, you'd be surprised at how much gets returned to you when you least expect it, because you don't expect it. You get what I'm saying? It's like a surprise, right? When you expect something from others after something you did for them, it's not really a surprise anymore, is it? Right? So that's why, you know, it's important to, you know, not have too many expectations of others, and not have such high expectations of others, right? We tend to have very high expectations of the people around us, right? Even people that we don't even know, like, you know, famous people online, like, let's say, let's give a random person example, Andrew Tate or whatever, right? All these people that we idolize or that we think that are just like really successful and stuff, we also have this high expectations of them as well. We expect them to be consistently expect them to be a very good role model. We expect them to always put out good content. We expect them to always be on the right path, you know, whatever they're doing. But the thing is, when we do that, when we see like a clip of one of them doing something bad, or there was some sort of like scandal against them, then you get disappointed. You're like, oh my god, I didn't know that about him. I can't believe he did that shit, right? So like, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, like these expectations, like they always tend to lead to some form of disappointment, right? And yeah, it's crazy to think that, like, you know, I think everyone has expectations of others. Everyone does. And the reality is that, you know, the more expectations or the higher expectations you have of others, the more you'll be disappointed every single time, right? That could be with your relationships too, not just friends or family or work. It could be like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your wife or your husband, right? You have such high expectations of them, you know, to be a certain way, you know, to do certain things and stuff like that. But the moment you start doing that, right, you start finding problems. You start finding problems or tweaks or stuff in their character or what they do, right? And that creates a lot of issues. That creates a lot of problems, right? So yeah, that's why, you know, it's important to just try to not have too many expectations of people. Anyways, that's the end of the video. See you next time.